Hello, welcome to the second video of Disney testing. Okay, so in this video we're gonna check various things like how to give inputs from the Java code so that the input would be applied to our website data as a data to the website, and then we're gonna see how we can execute various test cases by just providing values in our Java code. Okay, so the test case is all about registration. So this is waltdisneyworld.com. Say this is the website, the home page. Okay, then we go to sign in or create account page, and if say for example as a new user and I want to create a new account, I'll just click on the create account field. Okay, and these are the various required fields for creating an account. So I'm going to populate all these fields with the help of Selenium WebDriver, and every time I do it, so I'm like providing this email address field from my console with the help of Java, so that I can test various different type of email addresses. And if say for example I want to test multiple functionality of valid scenarios with different email addresses, I don't have to just like make changes in the code again and again. I can just give my values in my Java console and it will automatically populate it over here. So I'm going to show you everything about it and how to make registration well with the help of automation in Selenium WebDriver. So let's go to our WebDriver that is in Eclipse right now. So this is the code which I have written for this WebDriver thing. So I'm going to just tell you quickly about this code. It is in JUnit, and similar to our previous video, we have a setup method in which we are setting up our Firefox browser. Then we are giving our URL, base URL address. Then we have a test method. In the test method, I'm giving the URL as base URL plus the registration page, so that it will go to the registration page in which the user has to provide all the information. Okay, then I'm taking the value of email address in my console with the help of scanner functionality. Okay, then I'm taking all the email addresses and confirm email addresses and sending back to my UI application. Similarly, I'm just passing the passwords, and in password section, so we are currently checking for the password section particularly and specifically. So we have different functionalities in password that we can provide either the password as null, we can provide it spaces in password, we can give the value such that the confirm password and the original password does not match at all. And we can also go in a scenario in which the password length could be less than the desired length, which is like 4 in this case. Then in a case when password could be special characters, and a valid scenario case in which password is all correct and the user should register itself. Okay, so what I've done is I've asked the user to tell me that which scenario of password he wanna test. So based on the input of user of 1 2 3 4 5 6, I'm like checking the input, that whether what the integer value he has provided, and according to that input I'm doing some actions on password. So I'm going to provide all the values of password based on the input of the user, that whether he has provided me correct password or the wrong password, whether the password has special characters, whether it has valid length, whether the length does not match to each other. Okay, and similarly we can do the same with all other fields, but right now in our case our focus is only on the password section. Okay, so if the password is not correct as per the rules and norms, then it should show the error which I am expecting with the help of assertions over here. So say like for my case over here, inputs of 1 to 5 are invalid inputs for the password. So in that case, my assertions should go and check if the inputs are 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Then the invalid message should be this one, that sorry, there are one or more error on this page, and hence my JUnit should pass in that case. But if it is not so, then also the JUnit should pass, because then it would not go into this loop and it will just check whether after passing all the values, the user is able to register or not. So this is a bit complicated though, but let's try running it out and let's see how it works actually. Okay, so I'm like pressing Control F1 right now. Let's see what it asks. Okay, so first of all, the first and the foremost thing that it would do is it would open a new Firefox driver window. Okay, so that's how it works. So yes, it is opening the Firefox window, and you can see that the page which is displayed is the registration page which we have given in our Selenium code as our base URL plus registration. Okay, let me go back to the application. So why it is showing the email address validation? Because it is already asking me to give the test email address over here in the console. So let me give some email address as let me give some email address like, let's provide quetti@yahoo.com. I don't know if this email address exists or not. I'm just trying for it. Okay, so yeah, I've given this email address. Press enter. So after pressing the enter, it will ask me whether I want to say like try for the password of null spaces, or I want to try with the mismatch one, or I want to try in which the length would be less, or I want to try the valid scenario. But in the meantime, if you go back to your web application, you'll see that it automatically populated with my email address which I have provided in my console. Okay, so for password, now let me choose the valid scenario first of all, because I want you guys to see that how the actual valid scenario works. So let me provide 6 as the input, and I'm pressing enter. Okay, after pressing enter, when I go back to my website, I'll see that it is automatically populating all the values. So after automatically populating all the values, I'll see that it will click on the done button. Okay, I guess I missed this value, so I'll just put it over here. So it will automatically click the done button, and once it will click the done button, it will check that is there any error or not. So since there was some error over here, that these fields are not checked, and say for example that error which we have seen, so it will go into this assertion loop and it will check, oh, if it is the error one, it will go into this assertion loop, it will check, oh yeah, there are some errors, and it will pass the JNet. And here right now, so I don't know where I guess that the problem is with this thing, that domain is not correct or not, but yes, it will, when you provide the correct email address, it will validate it and it will help you register the system. So this way we can test for various other functionality as well. So let me try it run one more time. Let's wait for Firefox browser to open. Okay, so you can see the Firefox browser right now. We have a question over here that please enter the email address. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I have an email address, shubham.gaur19@gmail.com, because I used all the email addresses. That's why I was just refraining from using any other one. So this is my email address which I haven't used so far. So let's try with this one. Okay, so I'm like pressing enter key over here. Oh, so it is populated, right? And now it is asking me for the password. So last time we checked for the valid scenario. This time let's check for scenario number 3, that when the password and the confirmed password does not match. Okay, so I press enter. It is populating rest all the values except the one in which there was an error. So what was the error? Look, okay, the password you entered does not match. That is, this password length, which is clearly visible right now, is less than this password length. And the main error which is given is, sorry, there are one or more errors on this page. When our system sees this error, it will check, yes, are we asserting this error? Yes, we are asserting this error in our Java unit code, and it will say, yeah, definitely we are asserting it. So yeah, let's pass this unit test. So I hope it is not that complex and I'm able to help you out with it. So in this way, we can test for all the fields that whether all the scenarios are working fine or not, and we can provide well, interactive way to a user or a tester with the help of this console screen. Instead of console, we can use various alerts as well if you want it to be more fancy. So, but right now I just focused on the WebDriver part of it, and I just wanted to show you that yes, with the WebDriver we can make changes dynamically. That right now I'm like providing values dynamically according to the user input, that according to what user desire, whether he desire a valid scenario or an invalid scenario. So that's why I put this information in console, that yes, user is choosing a valid scenario or an invalid scenario, and accordingly the value in my application should get populated. So that's actually the beauty of Selenium WebDriver, because in Selenium IDE we have a plug-and-play system in which there is no thinking that in this scenario the system should react like this, or in that scenario the system should react like this. But in WebDriver we have this opportunity in which we can create a code in which we can say to the system that if the values, or if the user wants the system to be like this, if the user wants system to be a valid scenario system, then it should only provide the valid values. If the user wants system to be an invalid one, it should provide the invalid values. So that's the beauty of the Selenium WebDriver. I guess it helps you out, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. In the next video we're gonna see how security testing, how performance testing could be performed with the help of JMeter on the test testing page. So thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much.